My name is DJ K-1. DJ K-1. My name is DJ K-1. My name is DJ K-1.
Test 1, 2, 3. There we go.
All right. It's the K-1 Agenda Father's Day edition. I'm here with Keith Tucker, the one and only K-1. Really, we're going to call this episode K squared because it's Keith and Kaylin. So let's get into it. Happy Father's Day, first and foremost.
Thank you.
To all the fathers, but especially DJ K-1.
That's right. And that would be episode 60.
It's episode 60, special edition.
Spur of the moment.
So for Father's Day, I decided I would do an interview. Instead of him telling you all the updates, I'm going to ask him some questions. So here we go. I've gotten them typed down. All right, first question. When did you know that music was your passion?
Actually, was when I was really young. I was always into music. I think I probably found out when I was in elementary because I always used to have congos. Me and my brother used to have drum sets or guitars or something. But I think I found out probably when I was in middle school when I started going to concerts and seeing other artists, perform. And I was like, man, I want to do that. And that's probably like around 12 years
This was a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Second question. What was your first serious piece of equipment? What year was it and how much was it?
My very first serious piece of equipment was I bought a Roland S10 sampler and it was $600 and I just got my very first credit card and
It was
I maxed it out.
$600?
Yes.
All the way back then?
Yes. Shut up. And I maxed my credit card, put that like, boom, Roland S10, boom, maxed the credit card out right off the bat. First time. So that was probably, man, I was in my 20s then. That was the first serious, so it had to be like 21. Probably 21, yep.
Okay. Third question. 3, not 1. What was your first overseas show?
Live show?
Yeah,
Or
live
just
show.
anything?
What was your first show?
Ever.
And yeah, overseas, where was it?
Oh, my very first ever time going overseas was 1995. It was
Woo!
in the fall.
Not even born yet.
Actually, it was in the wintertime. I remember going with Lawrence Burton from 430 West. 1995, it was the May Day Festival, and it was 27,000 people.
Were you scared?
Yes. But people would never know it because I'm from Detroit. We don't play that.
Detroit versus everybody. We
That's
ain't
right.
scared of
We
nothing.
cool. We gonna play it off to the hilt like, oh,
Period.
you gotta act like you've been there before.
Exactly.
There you go.
East side. Okay, fourth question. What's it like to be a dad?
Wow. Hey, actually, I thought I would never be a dad. I thought like, man, I'm never gonna be that old guy that's telling people, get off my lawn.
He is that guy.
I'm that guy now, but no, being a father is the greatest thing ever. I've always thought I would be a good father, and then I know I would end up with having girls. So it's like my mother and father them were very upfront with me. Anything I asked questions or whatever they told me, so I try to do the same thing. No matter how harsh it may seem, just tell the truth. And I love it. I love being a father because I'm proud because I'm always there for you guys. So that's my greatest accomplishment. And I really feel good about it because most of my peers who do music, they all have kids and most of them have daughters. So they all are great fathers doing really well and all the kids seem to be doing really well. So that's one of my greatest achievements.
Hashtag girl dad.
Yep.
Actually, my fifth and final question was, what would you say is your greatest achievement ever?
Oh.
So you can tell me what it is besides being a dad.
You know what? Commitment. My greatest achievement is commitment to be not only a father, but a husband. I mean, committed to doing everything I can first and foremost for my family. That comes first. Paying the bills, all of that stuff, taking care of business like that. And, you know, being my greatest accomplishment is being one of those guys that say, if I'm going to do it, it's going to happen. And I've always been like that and made it happen. But I would say my greatest accomplishment is probably being married.
Okay. You got a good one, so.
Oh, I got the greatest one.
Exactly.
I got the greatest one.
Shout out moms.
You know, she'll never be in this interview. She'll never do one. I've been trying to get her to dart in, but she's not going to do it.
That's okay. I look just like her.
Yes, impromptu Father's Day edition that my daughter came up with. That was really cool. I had a good time answering these questions that she put together on Father's Day, which I ended up cooking, which was cool. Was able to make some hamburgers and hot dogs, and that's pretty much all that I wanted. But Father's Day was great. It was hot in a mug in Detroit, but it was beautiful, and I had a great time. I got nice gifts and stuff, and it was really nice to spend time with my wife, my sister-in-law, Sandra, and my daughter, K-1. So that was really cool. And then just staying in the house, enjoying time with them, man. It was cool. I had a great time. Let's get back to the PBX business. I just wanted to announce, you know, Stargazing is out. That's Pbx-32, which is myself and Dopplereffekt. The pressings have went. Like I said before, we've already pressed over 5 times. They're back in stock again. Great release. So I'm gonna have a lot more of Puzzlebox releases of my music. I've been able to do pretty good during the pandemic, and it changed everything. I'm gonna be putting out a lot more music that I should have been doing a lot longer ago. But this is okay. This is okay. Times change. Time to move on and go with the flow. Also, get ready. Next week is finally coming out. The K-1 remix of Binary System by the group Microthol. And my track is a remix of their classic song, Binary System. And it comes out June 28th. That will be next week on June 28th. Pick up my remix, which also has the Exaltics doing the remix and also has DJ Stingray doing the remix. So all that on 112 inch is going to be awesome. And also, I will be having a remix. I'm still trying to get a date from the Exaltics of the remix called Eicht that I did earlier this year. It was a remix that was an Electro remix that the Exaltics asked me to do, and I was glad to do it. And I think it came out pretty good. And I'm looking forward to announcing that release date. Thank you. Puzzlebox Records news. Puzzlebox Records news. Robotics EP out now on Mechatronica Records with me, DJ Digital, and Anthony Rother. Doing well. It was released digitally. Now it's out on vinyl. It comes with a poster and stickers. Mechatronica. That was a great opportunity to working with some guys I've been knowing for a long time since I've been in Electro. And this release is doing really well. Pick it up. My track is titled Other Worlds. Also, get ready for the Machine Conflict. Machine Conflict will be a collaboration with me and Slam. That's coming really soon. And like I said last week, I was glad that the guys let me add something to it, and they didn't tell me what to do. They just said, do you and add what you want to it. So it's a really nice, really up-tempo, faster track. It's hot, and the mix that they did is awesome. You can hear my Detroit Techno influence in it, and I was so glad to work with those guys from Slam. Also, still out right now is Electro Ghetto Tech with me, myself, and DJ Godfather on his label Database Records, which was released January 25th, and that's also distributed by Clone. Also pick up my classic first release on Summer, which is called Far Away, with remixes from Strand. This release has the awesome artwork of Kyle Irving, and you got to pick it up because it has a motion comic. It's only available on digital in a digital format right now. And if you pick it up, you get the motion comic that Kyle Irving put together. So pick that up. Also, pick up my latest Optic Nerve, my latest release, my Optic Nerve Uncharted LP, which is on Jeff Mills' Axis Records on the Escape Velocity series. Pick this up. This is one of my greatest albums that I've done so far. It was a lot of thought put into it, storytelling, and the whole album from beginning to end tells a story. And you can read about that on Axis Records, and it tells the whole story of what Uncharted is about, which is giving you the origins of Optic Nerve. And check that out. I'm really proud of that album. It's a great album. Uncharted, Optic Nerve. Okay, also, repressed and back in stock, Pbx-29 Modular World, which is my K-1 Electro EP. Pick it up. Minimal electro, crystal clean. Any DJ can play it. It's a different style for me, and I was really grooving. I got a lot more stuff like this that's coming out on under my K1 moniker on Puzzlebox. Also, pick up Pbx-30 Alien FM with me, myself, and Black Tony. That EP is called Monochromatic Images. Also, pick up the Pbx-31 Mad Scientist release, which is me and Tommy Hamilton from AUX88. I will be releasing 12 inches from the Mad Scientist series throughout the next 2 years. So it was never available on vinyl. It was only available on CD, and it was on a vinyl for remixes. None of the original mixes was put out on vinyl. So I will be doing that, and I'm looking forward to it. It was a very great, awesome tour that we did, and an awesome project. So also, keep in mind the merchandise. I've been letting you know every date that it's been put up for 35% off. 35% off June 25th, 26th, 27th. You can get one of these on any of my other designs. Once again, merchandise, 35% off. Everything. That will be June 25th, June 26th, and June 27th. Thank you. Everybody, listen. 35% off at least 2 to 3 times a month on all this product. Like I said, t-shirts, mugs, coffee mugs, cups, pillows, tapestry, hoodies, baseball shirts, short sleeve shirts, phone cases. Man, you can get so much, and it has all the designs for all the logos that I've done over all these years, and I have more coming. And keep in mind, you can get this shipped pretty much from your own country, so you're going to save on shipping. Pick the stuff up now. Go get it. K1 out. Question of the week. Question of the week was, will you be releasing any more Alien FM? As always, like I always say, it's a great question. First of all, if you have any more questions, please send an email to puzzlebox@puzzleboxrecords.com. And the question once again is, will you be releasing any more Alien FM? Just talked to Black Tony, and we've already have the choices for the next 2 Alien FM. Which a lot of times, I have to say this, a lot of times the Alien FM projects, the newest ones, have started from Black Tony's work. He puts something together, man, and then it makes me vibe, and then I can add something to it. So he gave some tracks, man, that, as always, very impressive. Tony is a great musician as well as a writer. So, excuse me. So, of course, there will be more. And we're also in the process of about to master the original Alien FM double pack 12-inch, which was on 430 West. So there will be plenty more of Alien FM coming out, which is the Electro side with me and Black Tony. So yes, indeed. If you have any more questions, please email puzzlebox@puzzleboxrecords.com. Thank you. Old pic or video. Once again, this is from the Portrait of Electronic Band documentary footage. And I like to highlight this one because this guy's been there from day one, and we have a really good relationship. And I think his story has kind of been missed in Detroit techno and stuff. Because Tony is a person, he don't go for the bull, man. He ain't gonna stick around when stuff is tripping out. He out. So I want to show, this is the Black Tony introduction from the Portrait of Electronic Band documentary from AUX88. Check it out.
I never knew that my cousin would be involved in the music industry. With his talents early in age, he's this wonderful artist. He even made the newspapers. We thought that he was really going to do some big things with art.
My name is Anthony Black Tony Horton, and this is my documentation.
Anthony Horton was born October 20th, 1966 in Detroit, Michigan. The eldest of two sons to Joanne Long and George Walter Stott. The family later moved to the east side of Detroit on Manistee Street, known back in the day for its block parties. Tony grew up on the west side of Detroit on West Bethune and 12th Street, near Motown and the Virginia Park area, with his younger brother Brian Long, also known as Buck.
And I attended Detroit's Finney High School, and at the time, Kettering High School. In between schools, I would skip, because I was that type of guy. I would skip and I would hang out at the other school with some of my friends. So I would be at Denby, and I would be at Southeastern's, because that's where most of my friends were hanging out at, and they were into the same things that I was. Typically a library nerd. My mother was into more art stuff, poetry. My mother was a poet, and she was more into the revolutionary era of the late 60s and the 70s. So that's where most of my attitudes as far as revolutionary ideals and thinking came from. So I went from being a basic library nerd to a more conscious person about who I am and what about myself. My actual aspiration, I wanted to be the first black hockey player, believe it or not. But that soon turned into, once I got hold of my mother's camera, I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to document certain things, and I wanted to have my writings known all over the world. That was my chosen profession until now. My activities in school were library, journalism, graphic arts, poetry. So if it was an opportunity for me to approach a particular stage in school, I would take it and it would help me. I was kind of a shy kid, and I was teased in school a lot because I would carry most of my influences around me in my black bag. And that's something, a profession that I carry on to this day. I always have a black bag full of my writings and my influences that I can pull from, because I'm so used to moving around a lot. My family has lived in Beckley, West Virginia, Little Rock, Arkansas, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Michigan, Livonia, Michigan, both east and west side town. So I'm used to constant travel, and I really never grew out of that. And I just love that peace that I have. So I always knew and learned from my grandmother, Julia Horton, to always have two functions to carry my way through of what I want to do as far as the arts, 2 or 3 different professions, and they will all mesh into one day, and she was right. Rest in peace, Granny. Growing up in my household, I never had any boundaries as far as other little kids. I could stay up late at night. I can go to the show by myself. I never had the word no placed upon me. So I was kind of a troubled kid because I didn't have any boundaries, but I became more involved and more strong in my arts. And that became later into what I wanted to do. And that's why I have the attitude that I do sometimes. It's like when it comes to the arts, everything, I stand up for that particular moment because it needs to be done. It's something that's disappearing in the city and to our young right now. So I'm deeply embedded in that consciousness, and that's who I am. My first encounters with electronic music via radio, of course, like everyone else, Mojo, industrial radio, 70s, 60s rock and roll. Even though I grew up in the Motown area, the area and the music, I was ridiculed mostly by my family because what affected me and what I loved was the Philly soul sound. Even dare to mention Philadelphia was something else, but at that time, the sound of Philadelphia had more to do with what I would do in the future. The syncopations and the way it was stacked, not taken away from Motown, but it's like I just heard Motown so much and I just wanted to get away from it. So some of my 45s after that weren't Motown songs. They were actually Philly soul songs. I was actually a bouncer and executive protection for a little while in clubs. That was before it got real dangerous. And that meant when acts and everything would come into town, I was contracted to look out for them at the door and escort them to different venues in Detroit, Michigan. Some of the acts were the 2 Live Crew, Gerald Levert, Salt and Pepper, and Ice Cube. I worked those particular venues and people with Dwayne Carson and my friend Eddie Bassett, who passed away not too long ago. And that's what we used to do. As far as jobs, I also worked in various clubs, which was strange because while I'm actually doing vocals and learning the music that's being played, I'm also behind the scenes throwing most of the drunk people and rowdy people out of the club at the same time. And I had to deal with cabarets and clubs and strip clubs. That was a nice profession, but it got to a point where it was too rowdy and I had too much on the line while still doing music and raising my family and everything. That's my documentation. My name is Anthony Black Tony Horton.
Yep, that's Black Tony from the Portrait of Electronic Band documentary. Notice Tony always keeps a bag with him, man, and he's always been a kind of a rebel guy. He just does his own thing, and I'm glad to know him and have fellowship with my brother, man. He's a cool guy, always comes through, man. Great writer and also a great musician. Some of his work is really, really different, and he can always motivate anybody to create something. He has a real keen insight into electronic music. Thanks, Tony. It's been great working with you, and looking forward to more stuff that we're doing.
It's time for the shout out portion of the show. So, big shout out to the one and only, the great DJ K-1.
Well,
We're going to shout him out. He's the greatest dad ever.
Cool.
He kills every bug that I ask for. He moves every heavy thing that I don't want to move. Anything that I ever need, he's right there. He's my first love, my forever movie date, the best ever, the most encouraging, taught me how to drive. Yeah. And even despite what people say, I think I'm a great driver.
I always said you was a great driver. I told you that. Good. Yep, my boo. Thank you so much. It's been really nice doing this and introducing it to the world, because when I go overseas, we don't just talk about music. They always ask me like, man, I think that's so cool on your videos. I see you be with your daughters and I see you be with your nephews. People, we talk about everything besides music, so they probably know a lot about you.
Well, you know how we end the show. I know where I've been. I know where I'm going. I know what I've done. It's the K-squared agenda.
That's right. Episode 60. See you next week. Thank you, K-1. So, and I just wanted to say, everyone, please hit that subscribe button for YouTube, and please subscribe to my page. I really have enjoyed all the support I've been getting, bro. Hey, like this and subscribe to this page.